Bob would visit my home in Harlem, and my mother would cook for us. And he would write, I would sing, we would look out the window, we would talk. That's the kind of relationship we had. We were really friends. I sang a song, a solo song with the New World Singers when we would perform, and he just was taken aback by that. He loved the song. It was No More Auction Blocks. And one day at my house, he says, I've got an idea for that song. So I think he tried to explain to everybody, this is what it means. No more auction blocks for me, no more driver's lash for me, no more pint of salt for me. So if you look at Blowing in the Wind, it's almost the same.
After reimagining the lyrics and melody of No More Auction Block, Dylan created Blowin' in the Wind. Dylan started writing in 1962, and we heard a version of it in 1963. Of course, at the time, it was greeted really as an anthem of the civil rights movement. It deals with inequality, with inequity, particularly around African American experience. Dylan got all of that in this lilting, gentle tune that nonetheless has a lot of hard-earned resignation in it. I think there's anger there. Of course, it can be interpreted and has been interpreted in hundreds of different ways. Everyone from Sam Cooke to Stevie Wonder has tackled Blowin' in the Wind and found new meanings and new potentials in those lyrics.
Hear that? Whatever we've done as a people has always been turning up in song. Folk songs, we call them. I don't guess there's a better way in the world to get to know about a country and its people than to listen to its songs. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man?
He was new in New York. He didn't have a big reputation at that time. I remember, I think the question was, who do you want to have? Something like that. And it went to Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Albert Grossman created the trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. By that I mean he certainly had a comprehensive view of what was popular music-wise, what should be popular music-wise, what was meaningful music-wise. Albert brought Bobby to a music publishing company to begin to record demos of his songs. Two of those demos were on an acetate that Albert brought to the Gate of Horn, where Peter, Paul, and Mary were performing in the early 60s. And after a show, we put the acetate on a record player that was behind the bar and played both Don't Think Twice and Blowin' in the Wind.
Oh, I think the song is going to live on forever. It refers to civil rights. It refers to what's going on now, the wars that we have. It refers to human beings, people.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, of course, popularized it even more so. I think they were able to get the message of the song across to a wider audience, perhaps than Dylan was going to be able to in those early years. They actually released their version 3 short weeks after it appeared on Dylan's album, Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, and their version very quickly eclipsed his own in terms of being played on the radio and being the version that I think was most embraced at that time.
Thematically, it seemed that Dylan's song Blowing in the Wind called for an additive kind of way, almost like a group of people was saying it. How many roads must I? How many times must I? I think we instinctively felt that to add unison voices, not harmony, but unison voices, gave the sense that there was a consensus, which of course it is and has become for so many people in so many circumstances. The fact that Blowing in the Wind was an anthem was just underlined by the audiences that would come to our concerts. My initial feeling about the song's importance didn't really reach an apex until the March on Washington.
I give you now Peter, Paul, and Mary.
That song prompted Mary to say to Peter and I, as we were standing there looking at this vast crowd, we are watching history.
How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
I was a church musician, the minister who was Dr. Eugene S. Callender. We were the first to bring Dr. King to New York. We brought him here, and he spoke to the people on the corner of 125th Street. So we thought, let's try to plan a trip to go to Washington so that he could speak maybe, and bango, it was bigger than we planned.
How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer